I was on the mountain in Whistler and we were busy skiing. I was skiing with my husband and a friend of ours. And I was having the best day. The sun was out and we were whipping around. I was feeling really confident. And then our friend wanted to go down this one particular section that was not groomed, and on a snowboard, which they were, it would have been fine. But on skis, it just was a bit sketchy. Anyway, I go down, I make a turn and my tip gets stuck in a hole and I twist my knee and I don't know if I heard a pop, but all I could hear was my voice screaming and echoing. And I don't really react to pain. Usually I'm that person that just kind of curls in a ball and just like, oh, 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 oh. But I was inconsolable, screaming, and I just see my husband just charging back up the mountain to come, and like instinctively I just thought to quickly pack it with ice, snow and ice, and I kind of propped it up and I was just trying to figure out how bad it was. And it took quite a while, but eventually the rescue guy came and he tobogganed me all the way down the mountain, and we were pretty high up, so that was an experience. But I was in agony, and they packaged me up in the ambulance, took me to the hospital, and I sat there and waited and waited and waited. And as I waited, I just saw my knee just grow. It was horrendous, and it just went black and blue, and it looked pretty awful. And then the doctor came and assessed me and said, well, it's hard to tell with all the swelling, but I think your ACL is gone and you've probably damaged your meniscus, and your LCL on the side is pretty bad as well. But you're going to need to book in to have an MRI so that we can fully see the extent of damage. There's no broken bones, so there's no point in doing an x-ray because we won't see it on that. We need to see the tendons and the ligaments. So he let me go, and he said in a couple of weeks to go to my doctor and be reassessed. So once the swelling had gone down. So in the meantime, I was pretty immobile. I was in agony. It was so painful. And I went to see a physiotherapist who did some work on it and did an assessment, and her assessment was pretty much the same as his, that my ACL had definitely gone. Probably my LCL, she didn't really agree with any bone bruising, but she thought my meniscus was also pretty damaged. And she gave me a big bionic woman metal brace that I needed to wear, and she said to do lots of lateral movements, which made sense to me because I've got a physiology background. I thought, okay, if I can strengthen up the muscles around, then I can hold myself together. So walking was fine, just nothing that could possibly twist. So off I go with this brace, and they're about $800 and they're meant to be made for you. But I didn't have $800 available at the time, so she's lent me this one that was made for somebody else that was kind of similar size to me, but this thing would just rub on the sides of my knee. It would take off the skin, and it was so uncomfortable, and it was uncomfortable enough trying to deal with the damage. Anyway, we have a ER doctor at our church, and about a week after the physio, so about 2 weeks now since the incident, I asked her if she would please check me out. So she lay me down and she was doing all these weird movements with my knee, and I was surprised that I wasn't screaming in pain. But her diagnosis was she didn't think that the other ligaments were damaged, but definitely my ACL. She said, your knee's not meant to do this at all. Your ACL's gone, so you're going to need reconstructive surgery to fix that. And I was so devastated because during this time I'd been having prayer. My friends had prayed for me, and my pastor prayed for me, and my husband prayed for me, and I'd prayed for me. And I just thought, why do I need to go through this and have reconstructive surgery, why can't I just be healed? And every time I'd be prayed for, the pain would go, and I'd be walking around, I'd take off my brace and everything would be fine. And then later on that day or the next day, it would come back. And it really shook my faith. I was thinking, is this all in my head now? Is healing real? Like, when you're in that much pain, you start to question things. So I asked my pastor after she had given me that diagnosis. I was so just heartbroken, nearly. And this was on Easter Friday, Good Friday, at the end of our service. And I just thought, Jesus died so that I can be not only healed, not only my spirit, my soul can be healed and forgiven, but that my body can be healed as well. So that's what I'm going to stand on, and that's what I'm going to believe. And he prayed for me, and the pain went away. It was wonderful, and I was crying with happiness, and everything was great. And then the next day it came back again. And I got angry. I got so angry. I tore off my brace and I threw it across our house, and I just said, I am healed in the name of Jesus, and this pain is not coming back again, and this ACL is going to be fixed. And I just got angry. And the pain went. I haven't had any issues since. My ACL's fine. Everything's just knitted back together. And I just thought, well, maybe it was just me that actually needed to receive it rather than God giving it, because it was already given. So if anybody says to me that healing isn't real, I'm like, well, I had 3 diagnoses that my knee was like totaled, and it's obviously not.